High grade G-Exes Jackedge. Hey, what's up again, everybody? It's Robert184, 2Rs, 2Bs, Gundam Reviews.net. And if pirates are your thing, well, they've been added to Gundam Age and just about everything else in Japanese pop culture today. But I'm talking about the Vasidian pilots, and Captain Ash, well, he's going to need some subordinates, and that's going to come in this remold of Wolf's old suit in the form of the G-Exes Jackedge. We've already seen it in advanced grade, and here it is in high grade. Made in Japan in 2012 and beyond. 1,200 yen. Made by Bandai with a pretty cool looking skull face there. I wonder where we've seen it before. The G-Exes Jackedge, there's a name bar, and it's number 25 in the high grade Gundam Age line. With Gundam Age, it's getting hard to keep up with 3 protagonists, 3 arcs, 4 quarters, 4 leads. Well, I guess we're going back to the first quarter mid-season upgrade for Wolf in the form of the G-Exes, where he bumped up from his Genoese Custom. And even though we're in the 3rd generation, it looks like they've still got enough firepower, and that's what cool new shoulder pads and I suppose a variation on the rifle is going to get you. The G-Exes Jackedge is just going to be a remold of this high grade that you see right here, and it's already come out in a reasonably priced advanced grade, which is only going to have 3 colors, which may be what we're seeing here. I love the fact that they show off the plates here on these HGH kits, but you're not going to see too many color variations in there. It looks like that bluey purple to go along with the gray. Beam sabers there. I wonder if that's some yellow up there for the eyes. But the big features for this guy is that he's going to have those new shoulders, the skull face, and that great looking bayonet down there on the weapons. Pretty much the back is going to be the same to go along with the shield as what we've seen with Wolf. Because it's an HG Age, it's going to move all over the place, which is going to make it well worth it's not even double the price of the AG. You're going to be getting some extra hand parts there if you want to have a dynamic pose. You're going to have the backpack, which is on ball joints, so you can maneuver those around. And you can see that he can hold the side part there for the rifle. The bayonet can be in the rifle, or it looks like it can be attached onto the back there, as it's got an attachment point, or held in hand as a blade. And you've got missile pods on the side of the hips, which are looking very cool. And there you're going to have the 2 pink beam sabers there, so lots of swordy variations, which fits this is Roronoa Zoro of, well, nowhere near, I suppose, in coolness of Gundam Age. The other side is going to talk about the Space Pirates Vasidian, where Captain Ash decided to run off on his child support, and you can see him there with that great looking weapon, some pretty cool looking line art, if a pretty dull color scheme overall. Some CG, again, looking pretty dull thanks to those colors. But here it is, unpainted out of the box, and you can see that he's only going to have the 2 grays. It looks like the pro-painted one. They did the bayonet up in a lighter gray, but you can see that the gray and the purple is going to offset a little bit there, and the yellow on the scope probably done by Seal, so it looks like he's going to be pretty dull, but probably not as dull as some of the others we've seen in this line, and I'm talking about the AGZS there. But instead of speculating, it's inside the box we go, where you're going to have the purple beam sabers there, some yellow seals, gray and black. I wonder if those are going to show up on this bluey purple there. Some gray and blue there on the A plate, no yellows for the eyes, or so it seems so far. You're going to have the polycaps and a lot more blue and gray to go along with the standard manual. Here's the A-plate, which is only going to have 2 colors on there, and it's labeled G-Exes, nothing to do with the Jackedge there. You've got gray and that dark blue there, and if you compare it to Wolf's A-plate, the big difference being is that he's just got that cool blue part there, which is going to make up the camera sensor and the eyes. It looks like they didn't go with the yellow option there. It's going to have to be done in seals. The B-plate's got a missing quarter there, but no relation to Wolf. It's going to be, again, G-Exes here, but you're going to have that cool-looking bayonet there, which it looks like it's going to have a couple parts there for the attachment points, and the same rifle and the attachment to the back of the shield, and you can see that this right section is the only thing that's different from the legend himself. Here's the C-plate, which is going to have a lot of parts here, and some of these are probably going to be wasted once we go through the manual with some X's on there. As you can see, the main parts there for the head and the shoulders, and you can see that this is going to be identical to Wolf's C-plate, again, just G-Exes. So where does it get new? Well, it's only for the D, which is listed as the G-Exes Jackedge there, but you can see that very similar to the advanced grade, where they just added in 1 D-plate to go along with the standard ABC that we saw before that. You're going to have 2 halves for the head there and a pretty cool looking top and bottom. So you're going to have 4 parts there to go along with the face mask and eyes. You can see that the eyes there, you could paint those up, I suppose, if you want, but they are going to give you a seal, but it's the shoulders there that are actually going to be made up of 4 parts each, which is pretty cool. But what you're actually getting here for the same price, 1,200 yen for each of them, is a whole extra plate, which is a nice little bonus. The only thing you're missing out on is that extra color. Now, I think these seals made a lot more sense on Wolf's, where you could put these black seals on just to offer a little bit more contrast between the white and the gray that otherwise dominates the color scheme there. Here you're going to have the very gold piratey eyes there, that's going to match the Dark Hound, and the scopes, but you wonder if that gold is going to be enough to stand out compared to the yellow that it seems to be on the pro-painted ones on the side of the box. And finally, PC001 to wrap up the insides, and SB9, which are the flat Exia-like beam sabers. I do like the whole skull theme of this whole Crossbone Vanguard, that it's not quite the Visidian Pirates, but on the front here you can see some cool looking line art. Again, the colors here, they've got two colors there. That's something that's pretty easy to paint up though. All you'd have to do is cut that off and do it in a variation. Some silver line would look actually pretty cool and bladish there if you wanted to do that. Some story about the pirates themselves, and when you go inside, it's the color splash pages, and there he is, the man, the myth, the person who's not even mentioned on the advanced grade law box when they talk about the pirates, or on the where they talk about the pilots usually, and his name's Radek Hone, and I don't know much else about him. There you can see the third generation protagonist there, and his father Asim Asano, who decided to run off and lead this ragtag bunch of pirates. Here, the pro-painted one, you can see some very nice differentiation there between the gray and the blue. It's not going to be like that right out of the box. And these little black parts here that are going to be provided by seals instead of painted. And there's the grumpy old grandpa himself with his goggles on. And there's the H3. This is before the FX came out, I suppose. So you can see the Orbital and Fortress before they got forgotten about. And here you're going to see mostly the same features that we saw on the side, the box tour. The rifle is looking very, very cool there just in terms of that. It's the Dodds Rifle 2B, and the camera parts are going to look good, and he can reach back and grab his own beam sabers. The shield here is missing a wolf mark very, very much, but the missile pods are a nice touch. And there it is, the Shell Doll Rogue, which we don't have any word on. That would be a nice third part to this whole pirate team. And how about that Darkhound? Love the pirate design. And there's the color guide if you want to mix this up and do it pro. Inside there are going to be a few X's there, mostly on the C plate. There's a couple other ones on the A and B, where you're going to ignore the wolf-centric parts there, but again, that's that D plate. That's a nice throw-in. You can see that compared to something else, even if you've seen the SD-H3, where it's got such tiny directions, this one, lots of white space there. It's going to be very simple to put it together. The upper body followed up by the lower body and the backpack. Before the back color splash page is going to help you put that all together, show you where to put the seals on the backpack that's going to wiggle around. And it's the weapon that's looking pretty cool, thanks in no small part to the three parts here that you're going to attach on. For the bayonet, you've got the grasp there, or the clasp that's going to hold it on. You've got this extra little part so you can actually detach that, unlike the AG. When you put it in hand, which should make it look better. Two parts for the shield, you can attach it onto the back, and you can put them up on an action base too for a dynamic and pointy looking pose. Overall, I think I'm more impressed with this unbox than I thought I would be, for the pretty simple fact that yes, the colors are going to be drab and I wish it was sort of black instead of blue, although that does suit the thing that it is in the anime compared to the Darkhound with that very nice rich black in there. Anyway, it seems like the seals are a bit of a waste in the ABC. Yes, it's got some wasted parts, but you're paying at the end of the day 1,200 yen for either of these, the old school G-Exes or this one, and you're getting the bonus of this nicely molded D-plate where you've got some good details there for the shoulder. The fact that they went with 4 parts instead of 2 for each of them is a plus, and tons of parts to make up the unique head. The only thing that I wish is that with the wolves you've got this blue or this white part here that's going to provide the aqua green for the camera lens and the eyes. I wish we had seen that here with the yellow part that you could choose to use or not. Instead it's going to be seals. But then again, for the same price, for a color mold and slight variation, I think that Bandai has been on the ball in designing these throughout most of Age. But in the end, that's just me, so why don't you stick around and check out the actual model when it's put together. And of course, why don't you let me know what you think of the unbox, the video, and everything else pirate related. Thanks for watching, everybody. See ya. Yaro domo. Why so blue?